morning, y'all. Happy Friday. Goodness gracious, it's chilly out here this morning. Let's see who's in the chat. Matt, Tammy, Cheryl Lynn, Wayne, Vicky, good morning. How's everyone doing this morning? It's 58 degrees out here. Y'all, I'm like so crazy. I had no idea until this morning that my laptop told me what temperature it is outside here at the bottom. I swear, I have to pay attention. Hey, Carolina girl, Lisa Irwin. How are y'all doing this morning? So we got a lot to talk about this morning. Hey, Emily, good morning. But before I get started, I want to tell y'all something. Channel members, I discovered that you can send one free highlighted message every month if you're a channel member. And I guess you do it somewhere here at the bottom, I guess around where the super chat button is. Yeah, that's pretty cool. Okay, so this morning we're going to talk about Brian Laundrie, Gabby Petito. They released some new Bodycam footage. We're going to take a look at that. It's quite long. It looks like the same footage that we already seen. I guess this is from a different officer. Also, we're going to talk about Xavier. I think I'm saying that name right. Harrelson, 11-year-old little boy missing from Idaho. He's been missing for a long time, several months. Anyways, they have found some human remains, and they think it's his. They know it's an adolescent. But they found some human remains around the location that he was last seen. I'm going to read to y'all about that. And also, we got an update on Evelyn Boswell's case. They have finally set a trial date for Megan Boswell. I think we should do Xavier and Evelyn's case first, because the body cam footage and the rest of the stuff we're going to talk about is going to take a while this morning. So, hey, Sonia, how are you? Been enjoying your videos, girl? And I always love your post. You're so intelligent. Let me get my private chat here. Okay, let's pull up about Xavier first and take a listen to this. His case has not gotten a lot of coverage. Maybe it has, and I've not seen it. I remember talking about him a few times. I think Life Perplexed actually interviewed his mom, and I think they had some kind of damn falling out. Go figure. She files out with every damn body. Okay, let's listen to this. Oh, damn, a freaking ad. Wonder how you say that. Montezuma, Iowa? I hate this freaking ad. Hold on. Let's see if we can scroll down. He went missing on May 27th. He's been missing a while. Uh-oh.
A call from a local farmer. Earlier today, the sheriff's office received a call from a local farmer.
Mute. It's going to echo.
They had found what they thought to be his human remains in a field just south of here. And so the sheriff's office responded and confirmed what the farmer had reported, and had called the DCI, since we've been working the investigation of Xavier Harrelson together in the event that it could possibly be Xavier. And we responded along with the state medical examiner's office and the state anthropologist. And we can confirm at this time that it is human remains. That's been confirmed by the state medical examiner's office. It appears to be that of an adolescent. And at this time, the clothing description, or the clothing that we see on scene, even though it's obviously soiled and stuff, is consistent with what we knew Xavier to last be wearing. We are not saying that it is Xavier Harrelson at this time. There's a lot of work yet to be done at the scene here. And then, as you can imagine, the state medical examiner's office and state anthropologist has a lot of work left ahead of them in the days and weeks even to come.
Okay, guys. So, and I hate to say this, but they must have just found what? Skeletal remains? Even if they found the clothes, they're not saying, I don't know. Maybe it was just skeletal remains, because it's been really, really hot all across the country. Bless his heart. Bless his mom's heart. Let's see what else it says about him. Hold on a minute. So what was he wearing? I read it this morning. I think he had a pair of red pajamas on, a t-shirt, and a pair of like boots or something. Let's see what it says about his mom. In August, his mother, Sarah Harrelson, told authorities she had no idea where it could be. Now, I remember this case, and I remember reading that he was a caretaker for his mom, 11 years old, and a caretaker for his mom. He lived with his mom. He was last seen May 27th, riding his bike in Montezuma. He went missing only days before his 11th birthday. A neighbor reported him missing. He used to, I guess he had a routine and he would ride his bike outside every day. And I guess he was close with the neighbor. She didn't see him outside or anything. So she actually reported him missing, not his mom. In August, his mother, Sarah, told authorities she had no idea where he could be. I just want him found, said Harrelson in her first interview since her son's disappearance. Harrelson said she remained publicly quiet until now because of her heartbreak and anxiety. Well, she was talking to Life Perplexed. Now, somebody please correct me if I'm wrong. But I remember it. I know I'm not wrong. I don't know because I don't really watch her channel. Like, I know a little bit of what's going on over there. But I remember there was something about her doing an interview with Xavier's mom. And they had some kind of falling out. So she's not remained quiet. Okay, on September 9th, the Iowa Division of Criminal Investigation received a tip that led them to search Fox Forest County Recreation Area. The DCI said they interviewed hundreds of people over the course of the investigation, kept in regular contact with Sarah Harrelson. The reward fund for information regarding Xavier is at about $34,000 as of September 21st. And you know what? I remember they searched in the area that he was last spotted at. And, they must not have found him. The farmer found him. Ever who owns this land. Let's see if we can pull up Xavier's picture. Prayers for his mom. I'm not sure what's going on with her. I'm a little suspicious that she didn't. I'm a whole lot suspicious she didn't report him missing. The neighbor did. Hold on. Let's see what else we can find out here. First, let me share his little picture. I had it in the thumbnail. He's a cute little feller. Gosh, I can't, if I couldn't find my son, I would be frantic. I would automatically call 911, wouldn't y'all? There needs to be a law in all the states. I know there's one in Tennessee, Evelyn's Law now, where you have to report your child missing within 24 hours or you'll be arrested. I believe it's just a misdemeanor, though. It needs to be felony. So there's Xavier. Now, if I'm not mistaken, it seems like he might have been autistic. Let me go back to all the news. See if we can find anything. Right here is his mom. Let's take a look. August 23rd, 2021. Okay, hold on a minute, guys. Then we'll watch all the body cam footage and stuff after we do these two cases. Okay, so there's his mom. Oh, crap. Took her picture away. Let's wait for it to load. And I want to know why he was caretaker for his mom. That's too much to put on a kid. Now, if I needed help, my son, he would surely help me. If I was down and out in the bed. But, she should have got she looks able-bodied to me. She should have got a home health nurse if that's true. Where's the volume? Let's go back. I have my laptop.
The word wild drive you crazy.
Let me mute.
Why him? Why any child? Why, as a kid, you oh, I pray to God that never happens to me, when I have kids or whatever, but you never think it's actually going to happen. After we said our prayers one night, he goes, I love you, a Google. I'm like, a Google? What is a Google? He's like, we learned it in school today. It's an infinite number that keeps going and going and and going and going. All right, Xavier, I got it. So you say that at the end of the prayer a lot of the times.
She's on something, definitely
There's
some
so many
pills.
different emotions. You can't just name one. You can't name one feeling because it changes from one second to the next. Because the whole time you're still looking around, looking for his face, watching. But yet people can be really hateful.
Yeah.
And you know what? That doesn't. If all you're doing is spreading hate, that's all you're going to create is negative. But there's so many people praying for him and taking his flyers, and for that I am truly blessed and thankful. And he will be ecstatic to meet.
That's so sad. I felt for her, but at the same time, hold on a minute. It's playing something. Hold on. At the same time, I feel like maybe she wasn't in her right mind in that interview, but hey, I'd have to be heavily sedated if my child was missing. I'm telling you, I would have to be, because I would have a nervous freaking breakdown. Okay, let's look at our poll. Do you think dog will find Brian? Let's see. Yes, 70%, 29% thinks no. We'll leave that poll up till the end here. Okay, so prayers for Xavier's mom. I'm very suspicious of her. I need to know the details of why she didn't report her son missing and why the neighbor did. Did the neighbor just call the cops for her, or what was going on? I think he is autistic, Remy. I think so. And it's just weird to me that she didn't report him missing. And what was he doing, like wandering off? How did he die? Going to have to wait for all those answers. Hopefully they'll make a positive identification today. There's an update. I'll let you guys know. But, regardless of my suspicions about his mother, I'm still going to pray for her until I know all the facts. Okay. So now let's talk about Evelyn Boswell. Monster mother, Megan Boswell. I think she was in court yesterday. But they have set her murder trial to begin September 2022. What's the exact date? September 26, 2022 is when her trial is going to start. Let's read this real quick. Tammy says, I enjoy the chat. I do too. I love my chat. All the people that watch me, watch the replay. Everybody's awesome. Okay. Evelyn's body was discovered in March 2020, hidden in a shed owned by Megan Boswell's father, Tommy Boswell Sr. Megan has been behind bars since her arrest in February 2020 on counts of making false reports to police. Evelyn had been missing months and nobody knew it, guys. Since then, she's been charged with felony murder. Here's what we know and where the case stands and what happens next. Megan Boswell's trial scheduled for September 2022. During a September 30th, 2021 status hearing, Judge Jim Godwin set a trial date for September 26, 2022. Noted they expected the trial to take 3 to 4 weeks, including jury selection. We still don't know how Evelyn died. They never released it. It's sealed. Goodwin also advised attorneys to block off the previous week in case the trial is moved outside Sullivan County or a jury is brought in from another county. The child's disappearance was a national news story. Everybody in Southwest Virginia, East Tennessee knows about this case. Good luck finding a jury. Okay, so Megan Boswell faces a total of 19 charges in the death of Evelyn Mae Boswell, including felony murder and aggravated child abuse. When she was first arrested, Megan was charged with 1 count of filing a false police report. She was later indicted on 11 counts of making false reports and eventually with felony murder in connection with her daughter's death and lying to authorities about her whereabouts. Yeah, she sent them up here to Virginia and everything on a wild goose chase, saying that Megan tried to blame her own mother. So Evelyn's grandmother. I cannot think of that weirdo's name. She's a piece of crap too. But anyway, she tried to say that, okay, so what it was, nobody had been able to get a hold of Evelyn or to see Evelyn. Evelyn's just a baby, right? Megan's father finally calls the social services, CPS. He was like, hey, can you check in on Megan and my grandbaby? Well, the CPS makes contact with her. She lies to him and says baby Evelyn's with her biological father, I believe in Louisiana. He was stationed there. He's in the Army, military, something. Anyways, that was a lie. When CPS couldn't find baby Evelyn, they contacted police. So they reported her missing. Okay, she hadn't been seen since like December. What year was that? 2019? Anyways, and wasn't reported missing until February. Okay, so prosecutors announced in January they will not seek the death penalty against Megan Boswell in her daughter's death. That's too damn bad. The investigation began when Evelyn's grandfather, Tommy Boswell Sr., reported on February 18th that certain family members hadn't seen the toddler in about 2 months. In the initial Amber Alert issued for Evelyn Boswell on February 19, 2020, authorities said she was last seen December 26, 2019. Authorities later said it was more likely she was last seen by a babysitter on December 10th or 11th. Megan Boswell, who was Evelyn's sole legal guardian, initially claimed the child was with her father, Ethan Perry, and that she was going to pick up her daughter in the parking lot of a local grocery store. Investigators later determined Perry is stationed in Louisiana on active duty in the Army. He did not have Evelyn. Let me get a drink of coffee. The discovery of, he did not. Evelyn's body was found March 6, 2020, on the Boswell family property in the East Tennessee town of Blountville, according to the TBI. The discovery of Evelyn's body brought a grim end to a convoluted 17-day-long search. This case about destroyed me, guys. It did for a long time. Look at little Evelyn right there. Let me pull up a cute little picture of her. For a long time, I couldn't even say Evelyn's name. It just really, really got to me. I followed it so close. Let me find one of my favorite pictures of her. Well, I've got several. Hold on, that's not the picture I wanted. I wanted her in the little... Let me see if I can find it. There is a picture of her right here. That's not the one, though. And she's smiling. It's in my thumbnail. She's got the little orange shirt on. Hold on, let me share. Here's one in the car with the orange shirt on, but there's another one, and she's actually smiling. And she looks so cute. There's little Evelyn. I would have took her in a heartbeat. She looks just like my son when he was a baby. Blonde hair, blue eyes, that same little nose. Oh my goodness, this broke my heart, guys. Look at that one. Bless her sweet heart. Okay, so there's the grandmother. I'm trying to think of her freaking name. Can somebody put it in the chat? What's her name? I did many videos on this weirdo bitch right here, and I cannot remember her name. She's nothing but a drug addict. The whole damn family's messed up. Okay, let me catch up on my chat and see what y'all are saying. Remy, what's her name? Evelyn's grandmother. I cannot remember it for the life of me. Is she going for psych issues? I don't know. She's probably going to pretend like she don't know how Evelyn got there or something. I'm curious to how little Evelyn died. Was she beat on? Because I believe Megan was mean to her. Everybody, her family and friends said, oh, she was a great mother. Yeah, in front of them, she was probably nice to her. But in one of the little interviews Megan did when Evelyn was first missing, she was acting like a freaking nut in it, smiling, laughing, going on. Oh, crap, my TikTok's on. Anyway, she said, Evelyn used to pull my hair. She had a habit of pulling my hair and pulling me down to her. I'd say it was the opposite. Megan had a habit of pulling Evelyn's hair. That's what I think. I can't remember her name either, Remy. It's been so long. Angela Boswell. That's her name. It just hit me. That's the grandmother's name, Angela. Thank you, RNA. We remembered at the same time. Anyways, I'm going to write it down in the calendar, my planner of when the trial starts. Hopefully, they broadcast it live for all of us to watch. I don't know if they will, it being down in at the Bristol courthouse. I don't know. I'm just reading the chat, guys. It seems like we need trackers for all children. Yeah, I know it. Unfortunately. But you know what? People wouldn't go for that, for kids to be microchipped, but that's not a bad idea. Or something. They need to come up with something. Okay, so now let's move on to Brian Laundrie. Let me get my stuff pulled up here. So Dog the Bounty Hunter, it's hot on his trail hunting. He went and searched that campground. Where's it at? DeSoto or something campground. Anyways, they found an abandoned campsite, fresh campsite where somebody had been camping there, and they found a Monster energy drink like the Gold Ultra. I wonder if there's any pictures of Brian drinking a Monster drink. I mean, because that could not be his campsite. They could take the can and submit it, see if there's any DNA on it, I guess. Try to match it with his. Also, the FBI was at his mom and dad's house yesterday, and they went inside of the camper. And they took this little jar in with them, probably something they collect evidence in. But they went inside of that camper. Let me see. Let me find my stuff here. We need to watch that body cam footage, see if there's anything new. I've not looked at it yet. Just a glimpse of it. Let's read up about Dog, though, first. Then we'll go on to the body cam footage. I'm going to have to speed it up because it's going to take a while. Okay. Dog the Bounty Hunter finds fresh campsite in Brian Laundrie search. Wonder if we can just play the video. Is there no audio? Oh, it's just music. I hate that when it plays music and you got to freaking read the video. Okay, I'm going to read it. Dog the Bounty Hunter, who's on the hunt for fugitive Brian Laundrie, has reportedly came across a fresh campsite. There's that Monster drink, guys. At Florida Park, where he and his team found a Monster Energy Ultra Gold. The can showed no signs of rust or faded colors, but the reality TV star, whose real name is Dwayne Chapman, found no firm evidence that late Gabby Petito's boyfriend was still at Egmont Key in the woods of Shell Island near Fort DeSoto Park. We're here at the island. This would be and could be the perfect spot for him to hide. Not too many people out here, but there's a lot of environmental things that we're going to fight, Chapman said on Twitter Wednesday. So here we go. The search now is really on. The search has just begun, the 68-year-old added. Damn, he's almost 70. A close source to Chapman told the Post this week that the celebrity manhunt was on Florida's Marco Island and setting up a home base in the Sunshine State from which to launch his search for Laundrie. This is going to be like a different kind of search, though. Dog is used to dealing with professional criminals and shady people. And he gets like a lot of tips from these shady people. But, you know, Brian, he don't have no criminal past. He'd never done anything shady up until he killed Gabby, you know. Besides probably abuse her. So I just don't know how he's going to get like a lot of tips from the underground. On Wednesday, he was at Fort DeSoto Park, about 75 miles from Laundrie's home, where Laundrie and his parents camped out September 6th, 5 days after he returned home from the couple's cross-country trip in her van. Petito's body was found at Bridgers Teton National Forest in Wyoming on September 9th. Did you look at that ugly thing? Oh, Baldy. Laundrie's family attorney, Stephen Bertolino, has confirmed that Laundrie and his parents, Chris and Roberta, were at the campground on September 6th and September 7th. He disputed Chapman's claims that the Laundrie were at the Fort DeSoto Park until September 8th, but the parents left the campground without him. On September 17th, Laundrie's parents reported him missing 3 days after he allegedly told them he was going for a hike at the Carlton Reserve in Sarasota and then disappeared. See, that right there is very suspicious. His parents reported him missing 3 days after he allegedly went for that hike. Now, if somebody didn't return from a hike that evening, wouldn't you be concerned? And if they weren't there by, that night, next morning, you would contact police. They's giving him a head start to get away from police before they reported them missing. Laundrie has not been charged in Gabby's death, but is the only person of interest in the case, which was ruled a homicide. Okay, he is being named on an arrest warrant last week on a federal fraud charges for allegedly using someone else's bank card. Okay, so there's the can of Monster Gold. Now, I don't like those kind of drinks. I like the salted caramel monster drinks. I drink those. Okay, you have to be skilled, which apparently he is in the outdoors, but you could for sure hide in them. And this is a good location in terms of being close to things, but also being kind of able to get away at the same time. Okay, when asked by the Sun about law enforcement activity at Fort DeSoto Park, a Northport police spokesperson said the agency can't give any of that information over the phone. Hey, if this had happened, if he had rolled up without Gabby and Sheriff Grady Judge's jurisdiction, they never would have let him out of their sight, the sheriff said. I love that sheriff down in Florida. He's a good man. He should run for president. I'll let y'all listen to his little video, what he had to say about the case. Let me go pull it up. I love Grady Judd. He's a good man. He's a good sheriff. Hold on. Let me screen share this. And then we'll look at the body cam footage. Oh, I also read this morning and saw that the FBI does have that AT&T phone, by the way.
Saying that if Brian had come instantaneous, Polk County Sheriff Grady Judd.
If you let me just set the stage here for you. If you don't know who Grady Judd is, Grady Judd is somebody who, when he walks up to a podium, when he walks up to a microphone, it's instantaneous. Must see for a lot of folks online. Yeah, he has a way with words, a way with articulating how he feels and how his department, how the Polk County Sheriff's Office feels about a particular story. He does not hold back any punches. This is somebody who speaks his mind. And if you've never heard of Grady Judd, believe me, there are endless clips and reels on YouTube that you can find, and it will give you an idea as to who Grady Judd is. And I'm saying that because normally I would never have to say that on WFLA Now, because our audience is very honed in here on the Tampa Bay area, and Grady Judd is just, everybody knows who Grady Judd is. But outside of the Tampa Bay area, outside of Florida, and we have an international audience. We've had people joining us from the UK. We have people joining us from Germany, from Norway, from Denmark, from Australia. All over the world have been joining us, and you probably don't know who Grady Judd is. But ever since this story began, and ever since Brian Laundrie was declared officially missing, everybody has been asking me to talk to Grady, or asking our WFLA team to talk to Grady to get his 2 cents on what he thinks, because he doesn't hold back on what he thinks about modern day law enforcement and modern day crime. So here is a short time ago. Big shout out to Stacy De Silva from, of course, our team here, WFLA 8 on your side, for helping me out with this. But this is Grady Judd at a press conference here talking about a separate
I'm not involved in that investigation. My team's not involved in that investigation. I could only speculate based upon news reports. And as you know, those are incomplete at best, and sometimes they can be fictionalized at worst. I can tell you that according to Florida law, when she was a victim of domestic violence originally, he would have been arrested. I can tell you at this sheriff's office, when he showed up with her car and she was no place to be found, we would never have let him out of our custody that day. Other than that, I'm not sure where their investigation is.
Interesting.
I love that sheriff, guys. I really do. Hey, sweet Melissa, can someone drop the membership link, please? Yeah, hold on just a second. I'll go get it for you. I've got a room in Discord where I keep all that stuff. Let's see. Let me see if I can copy it. Okay, copy link. Okay, there you go, hon. Okay, now let's find the body cam footage. Look like to me is the same body cam footage that we saw, but you know, we got True Crime Channel, so we got to share it because they say it's new. Hold on. Just the sister, Lisa, I think. Oh, you're welcome, sweet Melissa.
No, you can talk to her. She seems like a really sweet girl, 22 or something, has a lot of anxiety, and from what she's claiming, she's the full-on aggressor here. I'd love to go talk to the independent witnesses, and maybe that's what I'll go do. Yeah, there's a couple of waters. Here's this back, because you might need that for someone else. I know to keep it rings, phone. And I was on the keys because I didn't want to go anywhere. And my big fear is, I don't have my phone. I don't have a phone. So she goes off without me. But it's all right. I'm on my own.
Let me see, sweet Melissa. Let me try to get it again.
Back up, and then that's what she hit me. And I didn't give. I don't want to push you. I didn't give really attention to her. I'm just trying to keep her away and not get hit. And then I got really loud, and that's why really attention where I was going. Back up, get away, just get away. Okay, so you said you pushed her to create some distance, obviously, right? What happened after that? What kind of distractions? Okay, Google. Police, how are you? Hey, we got this van stopped, and we've separated the male and the female, and we got both of their stories. Now that we're not looking for them so intensely, I was just wondering if you had a minute to just kind of repeat to me what it is exactly you saw.
No problem, sir. Yeah, so I was talking to my friend across the street. Of course,
That link should be it, sweet Melissa.
Was sort of arguing a bit, and I wasn't staring at them, but it did catch my attention. And what I noticed is it seemed like they were sort of squabbling over a phone. I want to say that he was trying to grab her phone, and I'm not sure exactly why. And then it seems like he had sort of blocked the one side of the van and sort of wasn't letting her in. And then the male was stepping into the driver's seat, and she was trying to get into the van. And he said something about, "Why are you being so mean?" Something like that. And I remember she sort of hit him a few times, and it wasn't like slugs in the face, but just kind of like two kids kind of fighting. They reminded me of very mature, I don't know, children sort of fighting. But there seemed like something was off. It seemed like a weird vibe. And eventually, it's like, she crawled into the driver's seat, sort of like got into the vehicle to what the person would do in that situation. But that's what I saw, and if there's any other specific questions, I'm happy to try to answer.
Did you ever see the male strike the female?
I would say that I think I saw maybe a push or a shove, but not like a full-on punch to the face or anything.
Was the shove was the shove or push an aggression towards her, or was it a defensive maneuver away from her or to get her away from him?
That's a good question. It was unclear what was going on to me, but it did seem like he was. It seemed like he was trying to close off the passenger side of the vehicle and close things up. It almost seemed like he put that backpack or something on the back of the vehicle. I'm not sure. And then he was stepping in and she was out trying to get in. So maybe.
Okay.
I don't. It was the whole thing was off, and so no, I didn't see anything that was like him taking after her or hitting her or vice versa. It was kind of light, and they were almost kind of laughing, and I wasn't sure if they were just joking around, to be honest. But then it got more strange as he was in the vehicle about to drive off.
But you did see her slapping him, though. It sounds like.
Yes, it was like my memory is he was in the driver's seat, and she has the driver's door open, and she's like kind of hitting him either in the arm or maybe on the face, maybe with an open hand, like, hey, let me in, don't be a jerk, something like that.
Okay. Well, you know, your story is really, really helpful because you're an independent witness, and we've just interviewed both of them. And
Wait, but there was another 911 caller, right? And they said that they saw him slapping Gabby.
what you're saying is making everything make a lot of sense. So I really appreciate that I ran into you and that I was able to get your number and talk to you. So thank you very much. If we need to ask for a written statement, obviously it's voluntary, it's helpful, but at this point I don't know if we need to go
Everything's
that far.
Gabby's fault. That burns
Around
me
and
up,
super willing
guys.
at this moment. I can meet you and get a statement.
Yeah, no, I live here, totally willing to do that.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Maybe I'll just go. Yeah, I can go write it down now before memory fades. Because, like I said, I was kind of just casually observing, but something did seem off, and I just wanted to make sure that no one was in a bad situation. So,
Sorry, Kimmy.
Find you to give you a form real quick.
There was 2 911 callers.
10, 15 minutes.
okay, cool. All right.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right, bye.
Hey, Robin. So I just got the phone with one of the 2 witnesses, and I recorded it. Do you want me to tell you what he said real quick? Do you mind hanging with him for a minute?
Okay, so he got off the phone with one of the 2 witnesses. He needed to talk to the other guy that said that the male was slapping the female.
So, let's get away from both of them. So, he said that he never saw the male strike the female. He saw the male trying to lock her out of the vehicle. She even told us that he was trying to lock her out, told her to go take a walk, said that she was trying to get in. She eventually couldn't get in and actually clawed her way in through the driver's door. He says, I don't understand why she's doing that. Well, I think it's because it was the only door that wasn't locked that she could get through. So she's trying to get in over him. He's trying to disengage from her. I guess he hung her backpack on the back probably so she could have her shit so that he didn't have to engage with her. Everything she's saying is the same thing. I haven't heard what he said, but if that's what he said, it's also what the witness is saying. The witness says, I never saw him hit her. I saw him shove her, but I couldn't tell if it was an aggression against her or a defense against her as far as her, being the aggressor. So at this point, unless the guy's screaming that he needs to go to jail and did something to this girl, it sounds to me like she is the primary aggressor.
Yeah.
Now, the problem with her being the primary aggressor is in an instance of domestic assault, be it a male or be it a female, we shall arrest. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they have to go to jail. We can do a citation if it meets one of 3 criterion, which one of them is that we can ensure that they're not going to further risk each other's safety. But the problem with that is they live in the same vehicle.
That's what I was going to say. The other
And
part of it is
there was actually been injury too to the victim, which is him.
right, and I'm getting conflicting stories about why they did curve up here.
He ain't no damn
Well, this is
victim.
why it occurred.
Well,
He
I
fooled
watched-
you
here's what I
guys.
saw him cross the double yellow. I was doing 42 miles an hour.
Locked her out of her own damn van.
I was, I don't know,
Fucking
100
asshole.
yards behind him, tapping my whales at him, trying to get his attention. They knew I was behind him. And then after he crossed the double yellow, he merged over into the right lane, and then out of nowhere, just boom.
Yeah, why didn't they give him ticket reckless driving?
He said that she grabbed the wheel and turned it real hard. She said that she was hitting him in the arm. So
Sounds legit. I mean, I'm sure if I'm driving and my arm's on the wheel and I'm getting hit in the arm, I'm probably pulling out the wheel.
yeah,
And I'm sure it was a little of both. I mean, usually the truth is somewhere in between. He's probably trying not to say that he hit her because he probably doesn't want her charged with assault, domestic assault. He probably would rather say she pulled the wheel than hit him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, unfortunately for her, we cannot treat just because he's bigger and stronger.
Lisa Irwin, I am confused about the 911 caller and the witnesses. Sweet Melissa says one 911 caller and one eyewitness. See, I thought two people called 911, two different people.
And even if he's not willing to press charges, we can't treat this differently than if it was a male on female violence.
yeah.
And we're going to have to charge her. And we can do a citation if there's some arrangement
What bullshit.
to separate them. And then we have to let them know that there's no contact order in effect. And then we have to let him know the only way to drop it is to go into the police department during business hours and fill out a waiver, which, by the way, what's
It's
today?
too late
Thursday?
today.
So it won't be till tomorrow. And they're only there till noon, I think.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure he's going to want to drop it.
Well, the other part of it is they said they've been on 4 or 5 months that they've been living out with their hands together.
Well, this is really bad news. So let's talk to him first. His name's Brian. Did you ask him yet and take pictures of him? Yeah. Okay. So Brian, unfortunately, in the state of Utah, we don't have discretion on some things. Like, for example, if I pull you over for speeding and I want to give you a warning, I can do that because it's under a Class A. It's a Class B or under. If I want to give you warnings for all kinds of stuff, I can. But there's a few things I can't. When I say I, the police, I'm not in charge of this. One of the things that the state legislature doesn't give us discretion on is charges when it comes to a domestic assault. And it sounds like you guys are living together, so you meet the statute for domestic partners, and you do have injury, and both an independent witness, probably the next one we're going to talk to as well, which we haven't talked to yet, but the one we did talk to, and your own companion have made it clear that she was the primary aggressor and that she was striking you and that you received injuries. You haven't admitted to striking her. She has not admitted to you striking her. The witness did not see you strike her. So at this point, you're the victim of a domestic assault. That even if you didn't want to pursue this, we don't have a choice. The best thing we could do to not, the law says we have to charge her. It doesn't say we have to put her in jail. Okay, but it also says we have to separate, do a no contact order, and that we have to put her in jail if we cannot separate. And there's a little problem here. Is you guys live out of Florida, living in the van together. How are we supposed to separate you guys? Now, I don't want to take this small 20. What is she?
Yes, a 22-year-old.
22-year-old female in jail.
jail.
You can definitely.
He grabbed her
But
too.
at the same time, we can't say because you're a male and she's a female, we can't treat this different than if you were the male hitting her. We got to treat the same.
He totally scammed you,
So she's kind of
cops.
in a tough spot. So unless you have an idea about how she can not go to jail and be separated, do you have friends in town? Somewhere she can stay? Tomorrow, if you want to, it's up to you. You can
Can I
go.
go to jail?
You can't because we don't have a charge for you. Now tomorrow, if you wanted to get with her again tomorrow,
I'm gonna take your radio.
if you wanted to be with her again tomorrow, because it's after 5, so our office is closed, you can go to the police department, fill out a waiver to drop the no contact order. You guys can still be together.
Because they're treating him like a victim, Remy.
In a week or two, she's gonna have to show up for her court date online and answer. The prosecutor might drop it. They might say, for example, if you're not willing to pursue it, if that's your decision.
Anyway, I was gonna say it definitely is. I'm not gonna pursue anything too much. My fiance, I love her. It's just a little squabble. I'm sorry that I had to get so public.
Loved her so much you killed her, you freaking runt.
I gotta do to get rid of it. So
If you want her back, well, she'll get a paper with a court date.
How do I get rid of it?
Well, the court date has to be attended in order for them to decide whether they need to continue or drop it. The first is just an initial appearance to say, are you who we think you are? Yes. Do you understand the charge that's been brought against you? Yes or no? Yes or no, the answer.
Both should have been arrested.
Yes or no, do you need one? And then from there, she can ask to speak with the prosecutor. The prosecutor might be contacting you and say, hey man, like I know she's 110 pounds soaking wet and you're a big strong guy and we understand you're not even wanting to pursue this, but the cops have to follow the statute. How we're in the interest of you, if justice for you as a victim, what do you think? And they can decide to still prosecute her, or they can decide to drop it, or they can decide to give her a plea and make it kind of go away if she behaves from now on. But that still does not eliminate the first court appearance that she has to attend, which thankfully for you guys is going to be online. So you don't have. So if you're out of town, so here's the thing: if you're out of town and she doesn't come into our court appearance online, they can suspend her driver's license. They can issue a warrant for her. So she needs to play ball and go. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And remember her team, me and her team, I'm sorry about all this, I apologize again. But so she's got her online court date, just to acknowledge that she's hurt. And then she's got the one for the.
Well, there's automatically right now, there's something called a no contact order in place.
Yeah,
He's such a little wuss.
If you wish to drop it, you have to go into the 217 East Center Street, Moab City Police Department, and you have to ask, we'll give it to you. You want to fill out a waiver that you're requesting a waiving of the contact order, the no contact order. The no contact order means she cannot come into contact with you, she cannot talk to you, she cannot text you, she cannot go onto any premises that you're occupying, she cannot go to your vehicle. And until you drop that, or until court date, if you don't drop it, it stays in effect until midnight on the day of court. And then that gives you time to get a protective order, a long-term one, if you feel like you need one. But it sounds like you don't even want this one. So tomorrow, they open at 8. You can go in the police department. You can fill out the waiver. They can remove it. Then you can say, hey, babe, where you at? Let me pick you up. And you can pick her up. Now, we're hoping not to put her in jail, but if she doesn't have somewhere to go tonight to be separate from you, then where are we supposed to go?
I can't talk to her now because it's separation.
There's no contact order.
So tell me this. Do you guys have enough money for like a hotel room or anything like that? Because what we could do is we'd cite her for this, and then I'd give her a ride over to whatever hotel you guys is choosing.
You can pick her up there tomorrow if you want to drop the no.
On your way to go pick her up, you stop over there at the PD, sign the paperwork that they're requesting, and then you can go pick her up quite literally within minutes.
Unless you know someone else in town that's a friend that she can stay with.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, unfortunately not. I don't, and I guess that.
Man, I sure hate to. I don't want her to go to jail.
Will it be, if she goes to jail, it's like, that goes down somewhere instead of her going to a hotel, right? If you did a citation, it would be.
It kind of depends. So if she goes to jail, they're going to book her.
And they'll take her
Ew, gross. Did you just see what that cop did? Blowing his nose?
Then it will just show that it was dismissed. It will show up on her criminal history, but the charge was dismissed. If she is found guilty, it will show up as she was guilty of domestic assault. But the charge itself will show up on her criminal history until she gets it expunged. Now, even if we give her a ticket, we're still going to take a fingerprint, and it's still going to show up. Either way, it's still going to show up. There's no way around the Class A. Or is this Class B?
This is Class B.
But they do require a fingerprint on it.
Yeah.
Okay, so
the other part is if you contact her or she contacts you, she can be charged for the Class A.
Well,
which is a little bit different, but it doesn't help the same.
If you were to contact her and she responds to you, then she could get a new charge for violating no contact order.
So gross, RNA.
Restricts her. So if you go talk to her and we find out you're not in trouble, she'll be in trouble. So it's in your interest to. Does that all make sense?
No, I'm getting it all.
It's a lot, really quick.
No, I'm getting it all. I'm just trying to figure out a way.
You don't know anyone in town? You guys been here how long?
I don't know anyone in town. If she went.
She could. I don't think CK will take her where she's the aggressor.
No.
It is a women's shelter.
I'm curious.
You could find out. Say, hey, she doesn't have where to go.
If you did the citation, say she drove off she could drive off in this car.
Excuse me, she was not the aggressor. They were both hitting on each other. Now, come on now.
You can spend a night.
You want to drive me to Delicate Art?
Does she have a good driver's license?
Laugh, you little weirdo bald thing.
Yeah, she does drive license.
You trust her with your vehicle?
Yeah, she can handle it.
Well, then you'd kind of be homeless for the night around
And I
town.
mean, I can't.
It's her video, van, asshole.
We can tell her what it is that she needs to do to get through all this, and then let her know what your plan is.
Here's the problem, though. If we take you up to Delicate Arch, you're going to be hoofing it from Delicate Arch all the way down to Moab Center Street so that you can fill out that paperwork, because if you're not there by noon tomorrow,
They're
You're
closed at
looking at
noon
Monday
tomorrow
morning.
because it's early out Fridays over the office. So
Yeah.
you won't be there after.
You'd be looking at Monday morning before you could actually see her again.
And again, we're not trying to make your life harder. This is written in statute. There's
I
nothing
know, a
we
lot of
can do about it.
bureaucracy.
It's designed to protect victims of domestic assault. Not everybody's the same. This is different
Yeah.
than normal, but we have to treat everything the same. And that's just how it is.
So you just think they can't afford a hotel?
No?
Very little money we have for sure.
Hotels are expensive here now.
You want me to? I'll call CK then.
Just see if CK will take her for the night.
I'll see if they'll take either one of them. 'Cause then we can figure it out.
This is the women's shelter.
Oh,
Sorry.
CK will take her to
Look, he was going to go to a women's shelter. You little crybaby
Yeah,
bitch.
they're like a block and a half away from the PD.
Let's see if CK will take him because they actually they didn't take a guy, but they got a hotel for a guy last time.
Yeah, I'll do that.
CK might get you a hotel. Now, what she does,
I might be sleeping outside in a sleeping bag.
no,
So, like, I don't need a hotel.
I think
I'm
CK
just
Listen at him trying to be all pitiful. Nobody cares what you sleep in, you
want her
piece
to
of
have
shit.
men, we don't care. It's up to you. But there's nothing we can do about the rest.
I don't want to open my car. I'm just trying to think. I gotta grab my. I gotta make my little bag.
You sweating to death yet?
I think we're good.
You good? I'm going to talk to you real quick, but I've been talking so much, I got to get some water. I'll be right back. Let me grab water.
He needs that water. He's been patting Brian's pudding so hard it's made him thirsty.
Now, this is the water. It's cold water. Oh, yeah? Okay, Gabby, when you grow up and you're a full-grown man, this is what you'll drink from. Plus, it's ice cold, and so I'm going to drink from it. Sorry. You'll probably never be a full-grown man. Then you can do your curls. So, look, I'm going to speak to you frankly. I have a daughter almost your age, and I'm looking at you not so much like a suspect, but also as kind of a victim in the sense that
She is a
you're
victim.
dealing with some struggles emotionally and mentally at your age. Probably they'll work themselves out as you get older. There's a lot of angst at your age, and I remember being your age too. And hopefully it works itself out. But the stuff you did today that contributed to this, because you both contributed to this, is as a result of your inability to cope with the anxiety and the stress that you're having. So in a way, you're kind of a victim of this.
Her inability to
I think
cope
you
with
would have done better
anxiety
if
and
you had the
stress,
skills to
really?
do better.
Really?
But you don't learn skills until you learn skills.
How about your inability to tell when somebody's a domestic violence abuser? How about that?
But I can navigate what happened. If I was in your shoes, I could handle it different because I'm 39 years old. I've been through it. But I've got a lot of life lessons to learn still because I'm like my dad and my grandpas, they know stuff I don't know, right? They can do stuff I don't know. So in a way, I'm just letting you know that we sympathize with you. But based on what you've said and based on what our witnesses said, and even based on what your fiance has mentioned, trying his very hardest not to have you in any trouble.
Oh, yeah. Tried his very hardest to murder her.
On him,
asshole.
witnesses say were caused by you slapping him. And that even you say you slapped him and were aggressing him first. And I don't have anyone saying that he actually punched you aggressively. It sounds like it was shoving in a manner that was probably more consistent with trying to prevent you from entering the van or to get space from you, not to assail you. Does that make sense?
Assault.
So,
Trying to get her not to get in her own van. That's
Beating on you and
assault.
you're shoving him. Of course, we're going to look at it like, oh, of course she's defending herself to get away from this guy. Well, we're kind of looking at
She
the same way
was.
with him, and we have to treat both fair, even if he's a bigger male and you're a smaller female. The law doesn't say, hey, Officer Pratt and Officer Robbins, you can treat people different based on gender under the same. So we can. Even if it makes no sense.
You did. You patted his
probably could
pudding
not
for him.
physically destroy this man the way that he could if he attacked you. We can't treat you different, okay? So all that long-windedness I'm giving you right now is leading up to the fact that if I pull someone over for speeding, I have the right to give them a warning. I have something called officer discretion. But in the legislature in Utah, they have made a law that if we have a domestic assault, they don't trust the police to make good decisions because too many cops have made bad decisions. So
Just like y'all did.
We're going to write a law that says if you have a domestic assault, whether it's male on female or female on male, whoever the primary aggressor is has to be charged.
Actually, you should have took them both to
Give them
jail.
a warning. Doesn't even matter if you barely hurt at all, and the guy doesn't want to press charges, or the girl doesn't want to press charges, we don't have a choice. We literally have no choice. He does not want to press charges. He says you guys are a team. He says you're his fiance. He says he loves you. He says he doesn't want anything to happen. But we're explaining to him that we don't have any choice in this. So we're trying to get a local victims advocacy group called Seek Haven to get him a hotel for the night so that you can have the van, because they won't give you the hotel because you're
Damn, I wish they would have took her to jail, guys. That probably would have ended the road trip and she would have went home.
So he wants you so that you don't have to go to jail, because the only thing we can do is take you to jail. He says, well, so she doesn't have to go to jail, then I will accept Seek Haven's help if they'll give me a hotel, and then she can have the van so she doesn't have to go to jail. She can just have a ticket. When you get the ticket, it's going to give you a phone number to call, and they're going to give you a court date, and that court date will probably be online.
I have to come back to Utah?
No, it'll be online. You have a smartphone?
Yeah.
So you can, I go to court. You're okay.
Oh, bless her.
Yeah. When COVID happened, they switched all the court from in person to online. So when I go to court now,
I have a ticket for hitting the curb or something, please, because we're okay. Like, we're just.
I understand, but we don't have any, like. Listen, if I had any discretion in this, I would separate you guys for the day and just give you warnings to stop hitting each other. But I lawfully don't have discretion here. I don't have any.
Because somebody said something, like a witness said something.
There's two witnesses, and then there's what you said and what he said, and guess what? It all matches nicely that you were the primary aggressor, and that the injuries he has were caused by your aggression.
No, sir. The 911 caller said the male was smacking the female.
Nothing any cop can do about it. It's written into the law.
I know, but I don't.
Normally we take people to jail, but he's trying to work it so you can just have the van. Tomorrow,
I don't want to be separated.
you can have anxiety.
Yeah, no, we're a team, please.
There's no, what is it?
No, like, we're a team, please. It's gonna give me so much anxiety. Can we just have like a driving ticket?
Okay, the very best thing I can do is call my supervisor and see if I'm missing something here.
Because I'll pay any driving ticket, a parking ticket, anything.
Okay, Gabby,
Better.
try to calm down, and I'm gonna go call a supervisor. But I don't think that there's much I can do. But let me see if the supervisor can tell me something I'm missing to make this not happen.
I can't handle that. I'm sorry.
Just give me a minute, okay? You don't have to sit out in the hot sun unless you want. Okay.
I know they're trying to cut them a break, but they made her out to be the victim. Hell, I probably would have crawled through the damn van window too if he had me locked out. I think they should. I wish they would have just took them both to jail. Seems like she does have a lot of anxiety problems.
A tiny little girl,
or did.
22 years old, slapped her boyfriend, her fiance, several times. He's got a little bit of a little tiny abrasion on his chin, on his jaw. They got into a van and drove off. He got called in by there's one caller and then a witness. Got them stopped. The story from the witnesses matches the story from the female, matches the story to the male. She was pissed off. She's having a rough day. He tries to separate from her. She's not staying away from him. She has severe anxiety problems. He locks her out of the van, says, you need to go for a walk and cool off. She's forcing her way into the van. She's clawing her way past him into the van to be with him. He's shoving her to get her out of the van, but he's not assaulting her or he's not assailing her. He's trying to keep her out. She's punching, slapping, everything. She's got to be 105 pounds soaking wet, 22, full of anxiety, having a really tough time. Not making excuses, but I mean, it is written into code. We do have a domestic assault here. He's not wanting to pursue it. He's very adamant. He does not want to pursue it. We're explaining we don't have any discretion on these things. We're giving him a no contact. We're letting see Cave and see if they can get him a hotel so she can have the van so that we don't have to put her in jail. She's really struggling with the idea of being alone and not with him and not having the van. They want to be together. I told her, look, there's not anything I can do. This is all written into freaking statute. I just said the last thing I can do is call a supervisor and see if where this is such a minor. It was like a slap fight, and the injury is from a fingernail. I just don't know if it's worth the whole domestic thing or not, or if it's going to get us in trouble if we don't do it this way.
So it was the supervisor's call what to do.
Well, they don't want to, but I told them that unless I get some kind of permission some other way, I'm pretty sure this is just statute and that we have to separate you.
I don't know if this is before or after the incident at the Mexican restaurant.
As far as the domestic assault charge, what do you think about that? Well, I mean, do the whole thing or not? But is there a way to not do anything on something like this? I mean, it's so minor. It's hard to say, right? I'm going to go reread the statute and just see if it fits or if there's a way it doesn't fit. And if I can find a way that, because it really is this, the spirit of the law is being lost on.
Excuse me, LC. Do not talk about my women in the chat like that, or you will not be welcome here. I don't know if they're feminist or not, but there's a lot of ladies, including myself, that have been abused by motherfuckers like that. Okay? So if you're going to talk like that, you can exit my chat. A lot of these ladies in here have been abused. Now, we're all welcome to opinions. You know, I've seen your opinion is different than mine in the chat, and I've not said anything until you said feminist or scorned women in here. Have you ever had the hell beat out of you by a man? You know what? I'm not even going to go there with you. There. You can go block. You can go chat somewhere fucking else. How about that? Don't you ever come at my ladies in my chat. You got that?
This one, it really is. So let me see what I can find, and if nothing else, then we'll separate them.
Unsubscribe and go pat Brian's pudding somewhere
All right,
else.
thanks. All right, thanks. Bye.
I ain't gonna put up with some man or woman coming in this chat, coming at my ladies in the chat and at myself. I'm not no God blessing feminist. Hell, I don't even really know what the hell that is. Freaking weirdo. Why don't you go right on up Brian's ass? How about that?
Bodily injury means physical pain, illness, or any impairment of physical condition. So let's see.
He pissed me off, Lisa. Ever who it is, woman,
He's not
man,
ill.
whatever.
He doesn't have an impairment of physical condition. And if he's not in pain. Like how far do you want to go with this? Like, you know why the domestic assault code is there? It's there to protect people, especially the reason why they don't give us discretion on these things is because too many times women who are at risk want to go back to their abuser. They just wanted him to stop, and they don't want to have to be separated. They don't want him charged. They don't want him to go to jail. And then they end up getting worse and worse treatment, and then they end up getting killed. Mm-hmm. In no way, shape, or form that I can perceive does what happened here, a little slap fight between fiancés who love each other, want to be together, can I perceive that this is going to digress into the situation where he's going to be a battered man? Right. But then again, I don't have a crystal ball. So I was looking at talking to the assistant chief to see if there's any way to just go less than than the full force domestic assault route. Right. And he says, look, I mean, you either go all the way or you don't. And it's like, okay, but under what circumstances can I not? And really the only time I cannot is if it doesn't fit. If it fits, then it's in the law, then you have to do it. So I went and I looked at the code for assault, because this is an assault, enhanced with domestic assault. Utah Code, assault. Now, you and I both know what it is, but think of how valuable it is to look it up and read it word for word, especially when what you're doing is going to get evaluated by a court who cares a lot about words. Words are there for a reason. Assault is an attempt with unlawful force or violence to do bodily injury to another. So did she attempt to do bodily injury to him?
She went to smack him.
Was it her intention to do him bodily injury? Now, that's what we have to find out, because it says bodily injury.
No problem, Tammy. God, I'm still pissed
by
over that.
definition, physical pain, illness, or any impairment of physical condition.
Well, he's got a swollen right eye.
We don't care what the result was. We care about the intent.
So we got to go find intent.
If she did not intend to cause him pain or illness, or to cause him impairment of physical condition.
Was it intent and attempt, or intent or attempt?
When you're attempting to do something, you have to intend to do it. If I attempt to get a basketball through a hoop, I have to intend to do it. Intent is implicit with attempt.
Right.
Okay, so what was her intent? What was her intention? If you go ask her, what was your intention when you were slapping him? And she says, I wanted him to hurt or be ill or impair his physical condition, then there's nothing we can do.
Okay.
One way to word it might be, hey, when you slapped him, were you intending to cause him physical pain?
They was trying to cut him a break, but oh my gosh, they never even thought maybe he might harm her.
Is that what you were attempting to do? That's what it says right here, an attempt.
Right.
Were you attempting to cause him pain or an impairment of physical condition? Whatever she answers to that question will seal her fate. Because the only way you know what she was attempting to do is by asking her.
Right.
Yeah, I'm not gonna bash the cops. They never thought this would be the outcome, but gosh, they made a lot of mistakes here.
Gabby, this is a very, very important question. How you answer this question is going to determine what happens next. But the only person who can answer this question is you.
Okay.
Think very hard before you answer the question. Do not quickly answer it. Think very hard. When you slapped him those times, were you attempting to cause him physical pain or physical impairment? Was that what you were attempting to do to him?
No.
What were you attempting to do? What was the reason behind the slapping and stuff? What was it you were attempting to accomplish by slapping?
I was trying to get him to stop telling me to calm down.
Well, it doesn't sound to me like she attempted to injure him. It's your call. This is 100% your call. I support you either way.
Never tell a woman to calm down while they're upset. It makes it worse.
She openly admitted to me earlier that she was striking him in the arm. He said that she was striking him in the arm. He said she was, and that's what caused him to get the curve. She said that she grabbed her. I might have to myself probably.
No, she said that too, that she started distracting him by hitting him, and then he probably looked at her, and that's why the mark is on the window side. And she said it was her fault that he swerved because she was distracting him by hitting him. But she said she didn't try to hurt him, it wasn't malicious. She thought that he wasn't listening to her.
So assault is an attempt with unlawful force or violence to do bodily injury to another. The code for bodily injury, the definition says, bodily injury is infliction of pain or physical impairment or illness. So you can go this now. I'm recording, and society and the judges and everyone can judge me for this. I am looking at a 110-pound female and her fiance who have no means to be separated, He doesn't want to pursue it. She's not a threat to him, more than slight abrasions from her fingernails. I don't care if we use the actual letter of the law to not charge. But I also don't care because it literally does possibly make perfect sense to go full-on domestic assault and do the whole thing. This is your opportunity to make the decision.
Let's do this.
I support you either way.
Let's do this. Taking your advice, let me do a crime report on this. Won't charge right now. Won't cite her for it right now. We'll send it off to the county attorney. City attorney. Send it off to the city attorney. Let them screen it and make a decision.
If you send it to the city attorney and they strongly disagree with your decision and they throw a complete fit, you might hear about it in a very negative way.
Right.
So I would make a decision yourself.
I'd rather be dinged for a decision I made than a decision I didn't make.
Especially if they think you were completely negligent in your decision. Why give it to them? The only reason to give it to them is if you're not sure if you have enough for something and you want them to decide if they have enough. So I support you. I'm not joking. If we need to go all the way to jail or whatever we need to do, all the way down to
3 years out.
Go ahead. I better go on that. You got this?
I'm making this decision. I'm going to cite him. I'm going to go follow through the process.
Would you feel more comfortable handling that guy?
Yeah.
Go handle that guy.
Go handle that guy?
Go handle that guy.
Okay.
If you're more comfortable.
Well, it's 6 one way, half dozen the other.
It's up to you.
I mean, it's a headache whether I go left or it's a headache whether I go right.
Another option is to not charge them but separate them for the night. If they find themselves together again, what is it to you? You separated them. You provided for his safety. If he doesn't have enough sense to stay away and you got him separated, it's on him.
You can't babysit them all night unless you put her in jail, so it's up to them to how they're going to do it.
You can separate them and say, don't let this go off till tomorrow. If they don't let it go off and we hear about it, we'll hear about it.
They're camping in the park tonight, we'll let you know.
And if there's some fighting going on,
They definitely need training in red flags and manipulation, Sonia. Definitely.
Separate someone and say, if we hear from you again, we're going to arrest one of you. Because then if one of them really needs help, they may not call police and get help. The law says you cannot, literally, you may not say, if we get more problems with you guys tonight, one of you is going to jail. You can't threaten like that if it's true, because it will stop someone from wanting to call the police to get help. Does that make sense? Right. So go full or nothing or in between and separate them and kind of give them the nod, the wink, like, hey, just I'll be en route to that and talk to him now.
So we know what happened. They separated them for the night. Body cam footage is so upsetting to watch. She is so distraught. She is blamed for everything. And we don't know everything that happened. He could have been hitting her. No witnesses saw it. One of the 911 caller said saw a man slapping a female. The cops don't say anything about that. Then they talk to this witness on the phone, and he says he doesn't see him hitting Gabby. I think there was 2 911 callers. Someone else said in the chat that there was 2. I think I'm right about that. So they must have not spoken with the guy that saw him actually hitting Gabby. Okay, before I get off here, I want to see if there's anything else going on with that case with the search. Gosh, guys, that person in the chat made me so mad, calling us feminists, scorned women. I just looked it up. Feminists are for women's rights, but they put down men. That's what I gather from it. I'm not a feminist. I'm a conservative person. I didn't appreciate that. I don't care for somebody's opinion being different than mine. Hey, but don't be coming at my chat, my ladies in my chat, saying that we're scorned. Your ass would be scorned too if you had the hell beat out of you by a man before, Okay. Let's see. I'm not seeing anything else. Just about the body cam footage. Let's look about the FBI.
Oh, it could be. We'll okay, here comes the FBI.
Right, oh, they got a cooler bag there. Yeah.
Looks like a cooler bag.
They got what they needed.
Okay, here comes the FBI.
Oh, they got a cooler bag there. Yeah. Looks like a cooler bag. They got what they needed. Looks like they're getting out of here.
That was yesterday.
What's this in it?
In Northport also. You see this camper behind me. I've been standing in front of it for 15, 16 days now. We've been wondering whether or not it's significant. Well, today, the FBI showed back up here. They went right inside the camper and they left with new evidence. The FBI back at the Laundrie house today. 2 agents get out, bringing a full brown paper bag into the house, then going into the camper outside. We spotted one of the agents with a small jar. What was that small jar that they took into the camper?
In my opinion, it was an evidence collection tool. They are going in there and looking for DNA evidence, hairs, fibers.
Why the new interest in the camper? We've now confirmed the Laundrie family went camping here at Fort DeSoto Park after Brian came home in Gabby's van without Gabby. We spotted the FBI agents with a cooler used to keep any DNA evidence cold. The Laundrie family attorney says the FBI is at the Laundrie home today to collect some personal items belonging to Brian that will assist the canines in their search for Brian. There is nothing more to this. Also today, we learned of 2 police reports connected to the Laundrie home the day before Gabby went missing. The reports are blacked out, so we don't know the details, but police say Gabby's family was calling police to report her missing. Still so many unknowns, and still no sign of Brian Laundrie. Last week when I talked to you, you said you thought Brian Laundrie was alive. Today, do you still think Brian Laundrie's alive?
Yes, I
And
still
why?
think he is alive. I think he's alive because I don't think someone with his personality and with everything they have done to date that they would do for somebody who is not alive. Let me give you some examples. First of all, as I mentioned, they have retained an attorney to get them through this process. Number 2, I don't see the Laundries out frantically looking for their son. Obviously, they know the Bureau is looking. They are doing nothing, and their whole demeanor is not the demeanor of frantic parents concerned that their son is dead somewhere.
Okay, so many moving parts, new developments today with the FBI coming back to the house, but bottom line, manhunt continues. Still no official sightings of Brian Laundrie. Marnie?
And Brian.
Okay, guys. So they're still looking for Brian. They came to the house to get, I guess some of his items for the canine dogs to sniff so that they can track him. That lady was a former FBI agent that was talking in that last news clip, and she seems to think that he is still alive. He might be, but he may have went off somewhere and took his own life. Mia. Oh, I love that name. I went to school with a girl named Mia. Just sad all the way around. It is sad. But I definitely think that his parents know where he's at. I think they helped him get away. He may not be at any of those parks, guys. Who knows? He may be somewhere totally, totally different. We don't know. Let's just hope and pray that there is a break in the case and that they find him or he's spotted somewhere. I hope and pray Dog can track him down or the FBI one. Anyways, let's pray for Gabby's family. I'm going to end this stream and get off here. Channel members, tomorrow night, I was going to do it tonight, but tomorrow night, we're going to do a member stream on the man that killed Halloween. Ronald Clark O'Brien is his name. He actually poisoned his own son's Halloween candy. So we're going to be talking about that case Saturday night. Thanks, Matt. Hey, guys, I'm sorry I got upset, but I'm not going to let somebody attack my damn ladies in my chat. I'm not going to let them attack the men in my chat either. That was uncalled for. Uncalled for. The person evidently has something against abused women. I mean, what are we supposed to think as women that's went through abuse, physical and mental? We can see the red flags. Of course, we're going to express our concerns. And I don't care if people have different opinions than I do. I actually welcome different opinions, but don't come at me and my ladies in my chat or anybody in my chat. Lisa, it gives me flashbacks of abuse. Me too. This case really triggers me. And to have somebody in the chat say, oh, y'all's feminists, y'all are scorned women. Yes, of course we are going to be scorned when we've had the hell beat out of us and had somebody mentally beat us down to where we wanted to take our own lives and stuff. Of course. Yeah, hell yeah, I'm scorned. I don't give a damn who knows it. Yeah. I don't hate all men, and I don't put men down, though. But, I will put a man or woman down when I see abuse going on or see signs of it. Anyways, that person don't fit in with their chat because they're not respectful. They're not respectful to other people. If you're not respectful, you're not going to fit in here. End of story. Anyways, guys, y'all have a great Friday. I will see y'all tomorrow night. It'll probably be around 8 p.m. Eastern time. I'll set up the stream and share it in a community tab for members. Love you too, RNA. Love you guys. Be safe today. Be kind and peace.